Hey, Georgina, and welcome to your spiritual gifts reading. So, I usually go and pick a frequency that I play in the background during this session, right? But I started using all sorts of things as divination just to play around with my abilities in different ways to see if it works the way I think it does, which is by electromagnetics. You know how whales can like be in Australia and make their way to Antarctica because of the ley lines and the electromagnetics that are naturally leading them. It is my belief that our auric field, based upon our heart and stuff, has the same sort of electromagnetic world going on. And because of that, everything that comes into our recognition, into our view, it is somehow connected to us. It's just a matter of you realizing what that message is in a way that it doesn't distract from your life. Like, hold on, I see this. Like, that's how I should be at first. But over time, you should be able to pick it up. Like, up, there we go with that again. Like, it should become like less clue recognition and just acknowledging what's like on the way. It's like almost prophetic because you'll notice cues and things that other people don't know because everything becomes a form of divination with this. So I focused on the fact that I was about to do your reading and I refreshed. I usually go to a page called the Sound Healers. I didn't do that this time because I wanted to see what would come up, but the crown chakra light activation came up. So immediately I'm already going with the fact that you have intuitive gifts. And that's why this whole beginning part of this conversation or this video was about recognizing things as they're being spoken to you through the universe. Some people see numbers. Some people can notice a pattern on the screen like I did, or after a while noticing all the patterns, right? Some people just innately know and understand stuff. Like it just comes through. And it feels like there might be a little bit of doubt there for you. Like even though you're right most of the time, it feels like there's still like a, I don't want to say guilt, but is there anybody who ever shamed you for being right about knowing what you know because they didn't know how you knew what you knew, but you still turned out right? That feeling that you have to sit in before that vindication of other people finding out you're right, it feels like that feeling is still sort of the block for you while you give yourself a hard time about things that come through you because you have the gift of the crown. The crown is you being able to directly connect to source. This is like you got premier Wi-Fi with the universe. You can get the answer to whatever you need to. It just depends on what you're focused on. Like a Google search. If you're focused on, oh, I gotta get groceries later, suddenly your feed is gonna be full of like recipes, grocery store specials, reminders that you sometimes go shopping and then order food immediately afterwards. Like just everything is going to start to pop up and align with that. That's the gift of the crown. You just started downloading or asking for all the data on a specific thing, and the universe is reflecting back to you what you have sort of called out for. So I'm going to confirm this starting with my prism oracle, right? So this one is all about colors and feelings. I love this deck, and someone who is crown strong like you would also love this one because it's a bunch of different feelings that connect with different colors, and the imagery is very like simple. So if you wanted to practice on your ability to pick up stuff, like do this. How is Georgina feeling today? Wherever she is in the world, how is she feeling? So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm going to hold this up. I want you to take a deep breath and just go with whatever comes to you. It could be colors, it could be words, it could be a feeling. Just focus on the card and just let stuff come through. It'll feel like your own thoughts. You know what you're feeling today, but I needed to connect to the vibration of that, right? So that you can read it. The card is abundance. This is joyful. This is, in my mind, the feeling I'm getting in your case is like gratitude for where you are, what you're doing, whatever you're going through. This is a good way to be feeling, right? But notice it's coins on here, the color green, the word abundance. If you were to be practicing with your crown gifts, You would get a nice little deck like this. I think you can get it on Amazon. And you would just shuffle and do that with all sorts of cards. And that's going to strengthen your ability to pick up the message quicker, even when you don't exactly know what it is. And if you don't get it this time, don't beat yourself up, because that's what the assessment and gifts training is about. I'm teaching you a technique that you can use over time, sort of like working out. So you build muscle memory, but psychic muscle memory. So whatever you got off of this, it usually should have came through in like the first 5 to 10 seconds. Surrender. You're connected. This was like a smart ass answer. I was just shuffling in your energy, and the thing was surrender. This is your Wi-Fi beaming down to you. You are protected. You don't have to feel like anything is gonna attack you or be. Is this religious dogma I'm sensing? I gotta stop. Hold on. Like there's something wrong with you being able to do this, or just knowing this, or even training the gift to be stronger. It's a gift for a reason. You wouldn't be born with it if it wasn't meant for you to have, right? Some people can sing and dance. Some people can't sing and dance. Just because some people can't sing and dance doesn't mean that they should penalize the other people who can. No, you radiate your gift to other people to share with them so they can appreciate something that they don't have. Unfortunately, in our society, giftless people, or people who are unaware of their talent, make us feel sometimes like it's more comfortable to fit in or assimilate to all those who have not discovered or who have been stripped of their talent. It's a really weird scale here, right? So you have been holding back your gifts, holding back your magic, and all of that is what I'm getting here. Like there are so many instances you could probably tell me personally about things that have happened to you or happened with you. I just heard the ability to make stuff grow. I was going for a shadow work deck for a second, right? Because I was getting drawn to what is the biggest block? What is the biggest block to her crown gift? And this is you just knowing it. Like you accepting that you know it is more of what I'm feeling now. Accepting the things that come through to you and holding on to them until they make full sense. In this case, it feels like you're at the part where you're like, that's a sign, but I don't know what the sign is. And that's a good starting place. That's why this video is supposed to fill in that gap there to teach you how to start to sort of recognize even the electromagnetic part. And as a matter of fact, I can show you after I see what the biggest block is. Okay. All right, I got that. So let me pull this up. Show you. Okay, so this universe in general is made up of electromagnetic waves. And you never could have told me when I got into this or when I had my spiritual awakening, which is like what you're going through, awakening to your gifts or recognition of them, right? That I'd ever read tarot or charts, or I'd ever be doing my candle work or learning how to move outcomes with the strength of my energy, any of that stuff. You would not have been able to tell me that, because I'd be like, that's some X-Men shit. Like that doesn't exist. Like that's how skeptical or turned off I was to my own stuff, right? You especially would not have been able to tell me that I was going to learn to understand anything scientific, because the further I go into magic, I realized magic is just a term for people who don't understand the background science of it. If I were to talk to a physicist about some of this, they'd be like, oh, I get that. That's such and such. If I were to talk to a neurologist or somebody who works with brain pathways and stuff about some of these things and the way that you do shadow work and relieve yourself energetically, they would be like, oh, that's actually such and such, because everything in the grander scheme is connected to source, because we are all made of these. We are on the electromagnetic spectrum. You see humans over here, microwaves. We are all just a bunch of different waves, right? So your field that I was explaining to you, is like the different layers to your waves. Like your mental body is the waves based on what you're thinking. Your emotional body, your waves thinking based on how you feel. Etheric body is that astral body that goes around and dream world. Your physical body is this one. So all of those have a different vibration adding to your total field, right? Yours is tuning in like this. Like you are plugged in. Let me see if I can make that bigger for you. This whole time you've been plugged in. But I think based on this, and this is a spiritual awakening, you are getting to the point where you can't ignore it. 1111 is on your ass. It's the energy I'm kind of getting there. So sit with your shadows. It's the way to enlightenment, intuition, and spirituality. But you know what was on the bottom? Shame and guilt. What I've been picking up on this whole time. But that could be an old past life witch wound. Let's see. Where did the shame about Georgina's gifts begin? Egypt. You are a, my mind said priestess, and you know what popped up? Monk or nun, which is really interesting. And my cards are officially old as hell because they fell apart. Been doing this for years now. I felt like you were a priestess that was forced to, yep. So you know what comes along with being a powerful woman. And it seems like, and many times when your gifts were recognized, you were forced into positions of sacred prostitution for knights or like Roman warriors. So it was multiple lives. So it became easier for you to hide the fact that there was anything unique or special about you, because beauty alone is enough to stress you out, like pretty privilege, or like the target that is being pretty, right? There was a bigger target on you for the gift you have, that is that gift of the crown. But I was just saying also the ability to make things grow. And usually when I say that to somebody, it has to do with like actual gardening, like you make people's money grow and stuff like that. But for you, it is your auric field. And I'm going to go back to that photo now. I thought I was done with it. So wherever you are, there's a bubble around you, is what I'm getting. That's a part of that protection that you have. And it's also why you pick up on other people's feelings and stuff so much, because your bubble is the biggest one. You're picking up everybody's stuff. So when there's something going on, there's a negative energy or something that is not resonating with one of the vibrations that you're at, you're going to feel discordant in your energy. Like, oh my God, what is that? Because your bubble is so big. But what is the power behind Georgina's work here? I heard tapped in. You just tapped in like at all times. You see this crown? Can't make this up. See this crown? Divine lineage. There's overflow. You must have Piscean energy or 12th house energy, Neptune, something in your chart, right? And then this one, cosmic power. That's what I was saying about your field. It's like you have the power of the crown, right? And it's constantly spilling through you. You're always connected to source. But as needed, you can make your stuff bigger, or you can octopus arm your gift to make stuff happen for you. Now that your crown is turned on, you've been doing this the whole time, performing miracles or things for other people. That's why so many people come to you like with their shit. Like secretly they know, or their souls know. Hey, go to her. She's connected to God. She's down here handing out miracles and blessings. Oh, I have a good example of this. I have a lot of 12 house placements also. And Neptune is at the first degree. That's the self degree. So you just carry that flow or that crown energy, right? I had a client come to me for a mini session because she was about to be evicted. She only had like 14 days. She was like, what can I do? So I gave her some instructions, right? But I also lit a candle for her on my own, like recognizance, just because, you know, if I can do something, I can do something. It takes nothing to light a tea light. I didn't understand that I was octopus arming at that time through that candle. The next thing I know, she came back to me and she was like, "Yeah, the eviction is taken care of." I ended up getting help from 3 different agencies, so my rent is actually paid up for a couple months now. I had another person in my actual life who was in the process of dealing with eviction. The first month that she missed payments was June. It is approaching October. She is still in that house and she's still not been able to pay anything on it. But God has been sort of like keeping a bubble. But that God bubble comes from me sending a flare when I'm helping people. All the time, people ask, like, hey, how come God isn't doing anything about this? Blah, 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 blah. It is my belief that God is meant to come to the people that can hear him and that answer the emails, the spiritual emails from other people, like, hey, I'm having a problem with this. Like, hey, girl, I'm having an issue. Like, it's a lot to have to be God's customer support. That's why it's important to have boundaries. But at the same time, imagine the blessing that you can be in people's life. And being a blessing to other people actually turns to just bless you. It's like this is not even anything that, like, off top. You just do it as a person of divine lineage or somebody who's connected to the ground. But then you realize, hold on, I kind of never want for nothing. I kind of never need for nothing. And I'm saying this all to you because look back. I keep getting that this has been happening for you the whole time. And this thing we're doing here was just to give you the keys to understanding and learning how to work it. So, my number one advice is to get a simplistic psychic deck like this so you can start like a elementary school kid and build up the intensity over time and pick up more and more details. But you are literally through your field or the expansion or the shrinking of your field, protecting and extending yourself, but you were picking up all the data in your field from around you. And somehow it beams down whatever you were sending out feelers for to whatever you are focused on. So if you're focused on your phone, message is going to come here. If you're looking out the window, a car is going to go by you with 1111 on it. If you are at the movie theater, then the trailers are going to trigger you. It's just wherever you go, your radar is on because you have been activated. And that's why this reading is making it to you now. You were not at this place when it was originally ordered. But divine timing, we're all learning. Thank you for your patience. Have a good day.